Welcome back to AlgoBot, your home for clear, no-nonsense breakdowns of MetaTrader 5 trading strategies. I'm AlgoBot, and in today's video we're unpacking an expert advisor called Momentum Stack Breakout. This one is a pure price action system. There are no moving averages, no oscillators, no indicators of any kind. Instead, it reads raw candles and looks for a staircase of strong, one-way bars that points to genuine momentum. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how it spots a surge, how it filters out exhaustion, and how it places its stop and target. Let's dive in. So what does Momentum Stack Breakout actually do? At its heart, it's a momentum continuation strategy that tries to ride strong directional moves while they're still in motion. The interesting thing about this expert advisor is what it does not use. There's no moving average, no relative strength index, no average true range, and no stochastic. Everything it decides comes from raw price itself. Candle bodies, candle ranges, closing prices, and swing highs and lows. The core idea is what the strategy calls a stack. A stack is a run of consecutive candles, all pointing the same direction, where each one shows real conviction. Each candle in the stack must have a dominant body with small wicks. It must close beyond the previous candle's close, and it must print a fresh extreme, a higher high in an uptrend or a lower low in a downtrend. When you see that, you're looking at a clean staircase of one-way order flow. Think of it as the price action cousin of the classic 3 white soldiers and 3 black crows patterns, but generalized to any number of bars with an added strength filter. Because it reads price directly, this expert advisor can be applied to any market that prints candles, whether that's foreign exchange pairs, indices, metals, or crypto, and on any time frame you choose, from the 1-minute chart all the way up to the daily. The number of candles in the stack and the strength requirements are fully adjustable, so you can make it stricter or looser to suit the market you're studying. Who is this style suited to? Educationally speaking, it appeals to traders who like momentum and breakout thinking, who prefer the clarity of pure price action, and who want a system with structural, rules-based risk rather than a fixed number of pips. As always, this is for learning how the logic works, not a promise about results. Let's open up the engine and see exactly how it makes its decisions. Let's walk through the exact logic step by step. The expert advisor works on closed bars only, so it waits patiently and acts just once each time a new bar opens. When that happens, the previous bar has finished printing and any pinning pattern is complete. First, the strategy looks at the most recent group of closed candles. By default, it examines the last 3, set by the parameter called StackSize, which you can raise as high as 6 for a stricter setup. The newest candle in that group decides the direction. If it closed higher than it opened, the strategy is hunting a long. If it closed lower, it's hunting a short. Then every single candle in the stack has to pass inspection. Condition 1 is body strength. The strategy detects the size of each candle's body relative to its full range, and that ratio must be at least the minimum body ratio, which defaults to 55%. A candle that's mostly wick is rejected because wicks mean indecision, not conviction. Condition 2 is color. Every candle must match the surge direction. One red candle inside a bullish stack, and the whole setup is thrown out. Condition 3 is the staircase. From the second candle onward, each one must close beyond the previous close and print a fresh extreme, a higher high for longs, or a lower low for shorts. That guarantees a clean, monotonic, one-way advance with no overlap. Next comes the clever filter, the exhaustion guard. The strategy calculates the average body size across the stack and compares it to the final candle's body. If that last body has ballooned past the average by more than the exhaustion multiple, which defaults to 2.5 times, the trade is skipped. A sudden, oversized climax candle is usually a blow-off that snaps back, not a continuation, so the expert advisor steps aside. If everything passes, the EA signals an entry at the current market price and only ever holds one position at a time. Risk is structural. For a long, the stop is placed just below the base of the surge, the lowest point of the oldest stack candle, with a small buffer measured as a fraction of the whole stack's range. For a short, it's mirrored above the base. Finally, the take profit is set at a fixed multiple of that risk, the RewardRisk parameter, defaulting to 1.8. So if the stop is 40 pips away, the target sits about 72 pips in your favor. Let's read through the code on screen, just as you'd see it in MetaEditor. At the top are the inputs, the settings you can change before launching the Expert Advisor. StackSize controls how many consecutive strong candles make a valid surge. Raise it, and you demand a longer, cleaner run before trading. Minimum body ratio sets how much of each candle must be solid body rather than wick, so a higher value insists on stronger conviction. Exhaustion multiple is the blow-off filter. Lower it, and the strategy becomes fussier about rejecting oversized climax candles. Stop buffer percent widens or tightens the cushion behind your stop, and RewardRisk decides how far the target sits relative to the risk taken. Lots is simply your position size. Now the signal logic. For each candle, the code measures the body as the absolute distance from open to close. The first guard divides that body by the candle's range and rejects anything below the minimum body ratio, filtering out wick-heavy bars. The next line checks color, throwing out any candle that disagrees with the surge direction. The staircase check then confirms each candle closes above the previous close and makes a higher high, proving a clean, advancing structure. After the loop, the exhaustion guard compares the newest body against the average body of the stack and bails if it's too large. Then risk is built from price structure. The stop loss is the oldest candle's low minus the buffer. The risk is the distance from entry down to that stop, and the take profit is that risk multiplied by reward risk. Finally, the trade.by call sends the order with the stop and target already attached. The sell side mirrors this exactly. Let's watch the strategy come to life on this chart. Notice there's no indicator panel here, because Momentum Stack Breakout reads price directly. Watch the first 3 candles. Each one is a strong green bar with a fat body and tiny wicks. Each closes higher than the last, and each pushes to a fresh high. That's a clean 3-candle up stack, a staircase of one-way buying. The final candle isn't an oversized blow-off, so the exhaustion guard is satisfied and the setup is valid. As the next bar opens, the EA signals along. The buy entry appears right at the market price, and look down at the red dashed line. That's the structural stop, placed just below the base of the surge, the low of the very first stack candle, plus a small buffer. From there, price continues climbing, candle after candle, until it reaches the take profit marker. The target sat at 1.8 times the distance to that stop, and the move delivered it. Now watch the rhythm reverse. After the peak, 3 strong red candles print in a row. Each closes lower than the last, and each carves a fresh low, forming a tidy down stack, the mirror image of what we just saw. Again, the final candle is controlled, not climactic, so the guard allows it. On the next bar, the strategy detects the bearish surge and the sell entry triggers. This time the red dash stop sits just above the surge base, above the high of the oldest stack candle. Price then slides lower, bar by bar, until it taps the second take profit marker. 2 trades, one long and one short, both driven by nothing more than the shape and order of the candles themselves. Remember, this is an illustration for educational purposes only. And that's Momentum Stack Breakout from top to bottom. We saw how it reads pure price action with no indicators, how it identifies a stack of strong, same direction candles forming a clean staircase, and how the exhaustion guard steps aside from climactic blow-off bars. We also covered its structural stop beyond the surge base and its fixed reward-to-risk target, then walked through the MQL5 code and a live chart example of both a long and a short trade. Remember, everything in this video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment telling me which strategy you'd like me to analyze next. And visit www.algobot.live for more tools and breakdowns. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Trade responsibly.